Good morning. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. We're going to be taking you into Cuyahoga County Court here momentarily. We're about to see the live arraignment of an individual that we're going to see for the first time. That's because he is a teenager, but he's now being tried as an adult. This is a mass arraignment happening in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, so we're not exactly sure if we will see Stephen Fisher first. He's 17 now. He was 16 at the time of the crime he is accused of. Very bizarre situation. There was a 15-year-old girl who had been reported missing. This young lady here, this is 15-year-old Jaden Rentas. This was back in October of 2022. A call came in that there was a car sitting in a field with the windshield wipers on. When police went up to that vehicle, they found the 15-year-old shot and killed. She had been missing for a few days. Investigators were able to look at nearby cameras, not only get information about Jaden Rentas, the young lady who had been shot, but also Stephen Fisher was supposedly driving the car. He was originally arrested as a juvenile, 16 years old at the time, but bonded over to the Common Pleas Court. A grand jury has since indicted him on a charge of murder, involuntary manslaughter, felony assault, tampering with evidence, receiving stolen property, grand theft, offenses against a human corpse, and improperly handling a gun in a motor vehicle. Because this is a mass arraignment right now, the judge that you see there is reading everyone in the room their constitutional rights. What's going to happen today? He's only going to accept not guilty pleas. If you can't afford an attorney, one will represent you in court. The fundamental rights that we hear all the time during arraignments. But because these arraignments are quick, most of the time, when that defendant is either in front of the camera via feed from the jail or at the podium, these can take just 2 to 3 minutes max. As the charges are read, a bond is set, and generally a not guilty plea. So we have to start early on these, and we have to listen in to see if our defendant here is the first one up. Normally, a case as serious as this will be the first by the judge. I have to sneeze, excuse me. But we'll listen in now to see if Stephen Fisher is first. I think I just caught a last name of Coslin. I don't believe this will be our...
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Catherine Meehan on behalf of Mr. Oslin. We've now proceeded the indictment.
Yeah, this is a Mr. Osland. Again, we're not showing you anything out of turn. All of these people being arraigned this morning have been accused of one crime or another. This is open court. You yourself could go down to the Cuyahoga County Justice Center right now and sit in on this arraignment and see everyone who is being charged and given the ability to put in their first plea. So we're not showing you anything out of turn, but we are going to listen in just so that we know when the case of Stephen Fisher comes up.
On behalf of Mr. Bell, respectfully, Judge, we waive 24-hour notice, waive reading of the indictment, enter a not guilty plea, and ask for a reasonable bond.
All right, court will set the recommended $2,500 personal bond, CSR, no contact with the victim, order DNA. This case is assigned to docket Judge William McGinty. First pretrial is January 17th. January 17th, 9 a.m.
Very good. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you.
Next, 9 South Jail, case number 664739, co-defendant B, William Wood.
Again, not our defendant, but we'll listen in to see what William Wood is charged with.
On behalf of the defendant, on his behalf, we acknowledge receiving the indictment more than 24 hours ago. We any defects in service and notice, wish in a not guilty plea. And I'm still waiting to see him. And there he is. Hello, William. Thank you.
All right, court will will set the recommended $20,000 CSP bond. No contact with the victim. This case is assigned to the docket of Judge Holly Gallagher. Judge Gallagher's court will contact you to set initial pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
We have case number in the courtroom 686074, Jose Orellana, that's Orellana.
All right, Mr. Forstag, I have to swear you in. Can you kindly raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially from the source language into the target language, using your best skills and judgment in accordance with the standards prescribed by law and the code of ethics for court interpreters, follow all
Just a part of procedure here, the judge swearing in the interpreter. It appears we have a Spanish-only speaking defendant here, and so you have to make sure that the interpreter has read his rights, he or she, to make sure that he is interpreting word for word what is happening in court.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I have just a quick moment?
Again, while we go through this next arraignment, let's just review for those that are just joining us. We are waiting for our first look at a juvenile who's going to be charged as an adult. This all goes back to October of 2022, when the body of this 15-year-old Jaden Rentas was found in a car that had been abandoned in a field, still running, and the windshield wipers on. It was through the investigation by police that it was determined that a 16-year-old at the time, Stephen Fisher, was responsible for the death. He was originally taken into custody as a juvenile. He has since been bonded over to the adult court, and a grand jury has indicted Fisher on multiple counts. First, murder, involuntary manslaughter, felony assault, tampering with evidence, receiving stolen property, grand theft, offenses against a human corpse, and improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle. So we're waiting for his arraignment. Arraignments generally take just a matter of minutes. So we're going to stay with our coverage here until we see the actual arraignment of Stephen Fisher.
Next, jail, we can skip to first appearance, case number, find number 6299BR. First appearance, case going to grand jury. This is for Matthew Strimple.
Morning, Your Honor. Patrick Leary on behalf of Matthew Strimple, 0072006. Your Honor, we're here for a first appearance. Ask that the original bond be continued. The case is set to go to the grand jury.
All right, court will continue the original bond, $50,000 cash surety property. CSR, no contact with the victim. I'll continue the TBO and GPS standard monitoring.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Judge.
Next, go to the arraignment docket. Do a jail, case number 659363, Zen Rodriguez.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez, we'd enter a not guilty plea, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time or service. We ask that the public defender be appointed to represent him and that the court order a reasonable bond noting there appears to be an APA holder.
All right, court will set the recommended $5,000 CSP bond. Court will appoint a public defender to represent you, Mr. Rodriguez. This case is assigned to the docket of Judge Kathleen Ann Satula, and your first pretrial is December 15th at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, sir.
Jail case number 663681, Kevin Brimmer.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Rimmer, we enter a not guilty plea, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time or service. We ask that the public defender be appointed and that the court order the recommended personal bond.
All right, court will set the recommended $5,000 personal bond. Order Mr. Rimmer to follow the MHDD reintegration plan. Order CSR. This case is assigned to Dr. Judge Michael Shaughnessy. I'll appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Rimmer. Do you need a cell phone number for Mr. Rimmer?
Yes, Mr. Rimmer, if you could give me that, please.
216-224. I can remember. 6125.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
What was this 4 digits, Sean?
6125, that's what.
December 12th at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, sir.
Case number 676816, co-defendant B, Cornell Russell.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Russell, we enter a not guilty plea, acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive reading of it, and any defects in time or service. We ask that the court appoint counsel and order the recommended personal bond.
All right, court will set the recommended $2,500 personal bond. The court will appoint Attorney Jeff Scheibel to represent you, Mr. Russell. This case is assigned to the docket of Judge John D. Satula, and your first pretrial is December 19th at 9 a.m. December 19th at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, sir.
Come back in the courtroom, we have retained counsel, case 685795, Tiffany Harmon.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Allison Brenneman, 0088018 on behalf of Ms. Harmon. Your Honor, we've had the indictment in excess of 24 hours. We'll waive reading on the record, enter a plea of not guilty, and ask for the recommended personal bond.
All right, court will set the recommended $2,500 personal bond, no contact with the victim. This case is assigned to the docket of Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams, first pretrial, December 19th at 9 a.m. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Case number 686462, Ronald Rhines.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. As you can hear, we're still waiting for the initial appearance of Stephen Fisher. He is now 17 years old. He was 16 at the time of the alleged crime in which he's accused of shooting and killing 15-year-old Jaden Rentas back in October of 2022. Officials led, there was a tip that came in that led police to a car that was parked in a field with its engine running and its...
6226, co-defendant B, Chanel Rogers.
I'm just making sure we're still waiting. The vehicle was running. The windshield wipers were left on. Officers found 15-year-old Jaden Rentas in the car, and she had died of an apparent gunshot wound. Information led police to then 16-year-old Stephen Fisher. He was initially arrested as a juvenile but bonded over to adult court, facing very serious charges, included murder, involuntary manslaughter, felony assault, tampering with evidence, receiving stolen property, grand theft, offenses against a human corpse, and improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle.
This is a Zoom from juvenile detention. This is case number 686436, Stephen Fisher.
Good morning.
And here we
Your
go
Honor.
with our
Timothy Parsons
arraignment.
Standing in for Jeffrey Richardson, who's having a medical procedure. Mr. Fisher's in receipt of the indictment will waive the 24-hour notice, enter plea of not guilty, ask that a reasonable bond be set, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Mackin, I believe you will be hearing on bond.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for $1 million bond, and the victim's family's here, but they're just observing.
Any response to that, Mr. Kucharski?
Your Honor, I think he's posted a $300,000 bond out of Parma. I think he's in compliance with everything that he needs to. I'd ask that the original bond be continued.
All right, court will set the recommended $1 million bond, CSP, no contact with the victim's family. This case is assigned to the docket of Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams, and the first pretrial is December 14th at 9 a.m. December 14th at 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So there you have it again. We heard that the family, and that appears to be them, the family of Jaden Rentas was in court for this arraignment. The first time that they have more than likely seen the accused, at least in court, since he's been taken into custody. Given $1 million bond for Stephen Fisher. That's what the state was requesting. You heard his attorney ask that it be kept at the $300,000 bond that he was able to post out of Parma, but the judge agreed with the state. Generally, when we see murder cases like this, we see $1 million bond set. That is the case, and the next time we will see him in court for a pretrial hearing, if it happens, December 14th at 9 a.m. We'll wrap this up. Just wanted to bring you this arraignment live as it was happening. If we have any other breaking news, any other news that's happening live, it'll be right here on our digital properties. Otherwise, we'll see you at our 11 o'clock and our noon news on CW43, then on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now. Have a good afternoon.
19 News.